exaggeration.
Oh my goodness.
Welcome to Tonight's Show. You're with Tom, Brian and Steve, and this is from the Sidelines. And as we do it every time this week, we're going to talk about the round of NRL that's just been played. But first, gentlemen, how are you? Have you recovered from last Wednesday night?
I've downgraded to a grey. No. No. I'm still angry. I'm still angry.
What have you got to be angry about?
I'm just...
Or are you just angry that I was right so much?
No, you weren't... He's already started on me.
Well, it isn't getting you any better news for...
You know how we said earlier that he can wind me up really easily? Yeah. Well, guess what? It works both ways.
Yes, for sure.
Tom, you well?
Yeah, well.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
Next.
All right.
Did you get any comments last week from the people who watch your show about your shirt, the jumper you were wearing?
No.
Oh, okay. So no
and why would I?
Because it was ugly.
Well, that's just your opinion.
No, it's universal.
See, Brian's opinion is universal opinion according to Brian.
That's right. I'm the only one who's right.
I honestly thought that there would be some people who on this who would defend you. Is my point.
Oh.
I thought there'd be some people come on Facebook and defend
the indefensible, Steve.
Gentlemen, okay, let's forget about State of Origin. That is done, dusted, and out of the way.
No, we should talk about it.
I never forget. Never forget, Steve.
We'll talk about the injuries as we go, because there's been a lot. It's going to be a big change for the team, whether we like it or not.
Yes.
Both teams. So we had a round of NRL, a shortened round, no doubt, but a round.
Boring round. None of the good teams played.
Your team wasn't in it.
Well, actually, only my team didn't play because the other teams that didn't play weren't any good.
Okay.
Sorry, you didn't.
Well, no, I'm just trying to think back to Manly's last game, and they got beaten by the Newcastle Knights.
Correct.
So I don't know how you think, what you think, but anyway.
Can you go back and edit him out later?
I can actually, yes. Let's go on to Friday night. Was the first game where the Raiders beat the Tigers 20-19.
That was a travesty.
Why? Why is everybody saying that?
Because there was one try at least one try that should not have been allowed.
Please, which one? They should have all been allowed. They're all fine.
No, there was one where the kick hit the post and one of the players was pushed out of the way.
Oh, please.
Oh, please, nothing.
Oh, please.
If that was a Manly player being pushed out of the way, you'd be screaming from the rooftops.
And technically, the penalty off the field goal attempt was correct.
Yeah.
But it seemed cruel for it to happen like that when all the player was doing was trying to defend the ball, and he happened to land on the guy's legs.
I agree with you on that. And further, I think when you look at the replay, both his feet were actually on the ground. It wasn't like he hit. It wasn't like he hit him in the air.
I know.
Both his feet were actually on the ground. Yeah, he took his legs. But honestly, that's a tackle.
Yeah.
In a tackle, you're allowed to take the player's legs out.
Yeah. I thought that was the wrong outcome of the game. I think the Tigers deserved to win that game in the end. I think. Yeah.
Yeah, because they played well for 5 minutes.
Well,
that makes them
10
5 minutes that mattered.
They played well for 5 minutes, so obviously they deserved to win a game because a justified penalty was given that made them lose the game.
Latrell plays for 15 minutes and everybody thinks he's a world beater.
Oh my goodness, yeah, and everybody thought the Tigers should have won that game. No way. You're 18 points down.
I have a feeling that when your team's on a bye, you shouldn't be allowed to comment.
Yeah, it's probably true too.
I think when your team's on a bye, you are persona non grata.
Yeah.
There we go.
I could watch each of these games unbiasedly, that man.
Yes, but still with the same blinkered eyes.
No, look, the Raiders were up. The Tigers shouldn't let them get to an 18-point lead.
No.
I thought the penalty was justified. We've had the rule now in for the last 10 years where you can't attack a player's legs. Regardless of the fact he didn't have the ball because he'd already kicked it and he came at him with the legs, that's a penalty. Every day of the week, if it happened to Latrell, you'd be crying blue murder and want him binned as well.
Cherry.
I don't see
the cherry.
There. Yeah, that's right. And I'm saying it was a penalty.
Okay, but the push in the back.
The push in the back. I don't even know what you're talking about.
There was
Is that the first?
There was the second one. The second one where where it came off the post.
I was watching
the back.
I was watching the.
And
the
you guys, both of you, I remember screaming at me when South Campbell Graham did it, playing against someone, I think it was, and you both said it should never have been allowed because he scored a try for pushing the back. And now you're saying, oh, I didn't even notice, I don't remember.
No, I'm saying that. Tom's agreeing with you.
That's a bit convenient, don't you think?
Either way.
Is that unconscious bias?
Yes, it is. No, actually, I take it back. It's conscious bias.
That's the term of this season.
The unconscious bias.
That's the term of this season. Unconscious. It's right up there with not happy Jan. You know?
That's right, exactly.
Unbelievable.
Anyway, look, I don't think the Tigers deserve to win, to be honest with you. I really don't think they deserve.
The Raiders
had the right to win the game at the end.
The Raiders were the better team for 70 minutes.
Okay, well,
honestly, they were way better for 70 minutes.
Let me put this to you very quickly and then we'll move on.
Yep.
You guys have also said, see, I have a memory like an elephant. Which is,
you forget a lot of stuff and remember it in your own way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. What have we said?
We've talked about draws before.
Yep.
And I've said, I've always made the argument against Golden Point to say, well, hang on, what happens if a team is so far ahead and then another one catches up and they draw the game?
Yep.
And you say, well, that doesn't mean they're the best team. The better team was the one who got ahead first. Had we not had Golden Point...
I've never said that.
You have. You've argued the point for... No,
I don't think there should be Golden Point. I mean, I think it should be gold at extra time.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying it shouldn't be anything. I'm saying I'm happy with a draw.
Well, that's where you're wrong.
And I would have been happy with a draw.
It was never a draw.
It was going to be.
It was 18-19, 19-20. Like, it was never going to be a draw. I don't even know what you're talking about a draw for.
All right, let's go on to Go Media Stadium, where the Warriors beat the Dolphins 30-8. Dolphins were disappointing.
Oh, I hope they're like that next week.
Why? Who do they play, Brian?
I've no idea.
Yeah, they were. I think they were pretty lacklustre.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the Warriors played all that good. Johnson
was
had another one.
My goodness, yeah. Far out. It's no. What was that? I was reading the headline. It's no longer vintage Sean Johnson. It's just Sean Johnson.
and so with Lesniak, he's having a standout year. I mean, he's always been solid.
Yeah.
But he's having a very consistent standout year this year.
But see, the thing was with Dallin is that he was very, very good. I mean, he did captain his country. Like, he was very, very good.
Yeah.
And then he had to dip in form. So, yeah, I don't know, but he's back to where he was before. He's playing exceptional football. Yeah. Exceptional.
Yeah.
And I like that Luke Metcalf got a run. I'm a big fan. Wish Manly had kept him.
Another one
that Manly let go, right?
Yeah, but he's gone from the Sharks to us to the Sharks. Right. Couldn't get a run at the Sharks either time. I don't know what's wrong with that, but yeah. Anyway, well done Warriors, and sucked in Dolphins. You're from Queensland, and I just hate this all now.
They do have some New South Wales players in it, so be
who?
Let me think about it.
So you make these broad sweeping statements. They're little halfbacks of Penrith Jr.
There you go.
Yeah, that's it. Katoa. That's it. Yeah. I think he's the only one. All the rest they're Kiwis or Queenslanders. Who cares? All right.
Sorry.
Queensland's second
yes,
Queensland.
That's right, yes. Third, fourth and fifth.
Actually,
so Melbourne's probably second or
third.
Yeah,
Melbourne's kind of Queensland as well.
Yeah.
Right, yes.
According to Sally, it is anyway.
All right. You two finish gibbering on. Let's go on to Seabus Super Stadium, where the South Sydney Rabbitohs 46 beat Gold Coast Titans 28.
And the first try was scored by a Fasuamala Awi that wasn't Tino.
My goodness.
Thank you for that.
Talk about a ripped off game of football. The Titans should have won that game. They were so far up. How dare the Rabbitohs come back and beat them? That should have been a draw.
That's
I don't know what you're talking about.
You are...
First 20 minutes was pretty willing.
What is... No, we get the Rabbitohs. The Rabbitohs are going along. They're purring along all right at the moment. What the heck is wrong with the Titans?
Yeah.
They've got to stop playing 40 minutes.
What is this, the 7th or 8th time this year where they've hit double-digit leads and blown it?
I don't know what it is. I mean, they seem to have no resilience.
How can you be that bad in a second half?
It's inexperience.
Inexperience?
It's inexperience.
How is that team inexperienced?
Jaden Campbell. Jaden Campbell was 5'8". They had a fullback who was
Yeah, he was
who
a
hadn't
rookie.
played before.
Yeah.
They've got a
Khan
number
Pereira
of
is
players.
pretty young.
Yeah.
Phil Sammy isn't. Aaron Shute, Jojo Fafita, second year, Tana Boyd, third or fourth year.
Second year still makes
hang on.
experience.
Yes.
But then you've got all the forwards. You've got Big Mo, you've got one of the Full Masalis, Joe Simpson, young Cleese Haas. There's plenty of experience in that team.
There's enough experience, but there's not like it is in the South.
David Fafita,
but you know what? Look, it's happened, I think, 5 times now, and they've lost 4 of them where they've led at 20 odd points. And
the poor coach. I mean, he's got to be pulling his hair out. Really, so
they're going to get him sacked.
They are.
They're going to get him sacked.
They are.
Yeah.
But you know what? Look, I was watching this game and I was panicking it in the first half where they got to a 12-0 lead after 10 minutes.
I know.
Then South managed to get it back, and then they scored again just before half time.
Yep. I thought it was all over Red Rover. I really did. They were outplaying South everywhere.
Neither team knew how to tackle in the first half, though. That was the thing. Both of them could score and score well, but then all of a sudden, I think South. The one thing about South Sydney this year is that they've learnt how to play 80 minutes.
Patient. They're patient.
They used to be a 40, 50, 60-minute team.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, you guys have said before, they phase in and out of games.
You know what I see a problem as, though? Who won you that game? Cody Walker just went, bang, I'm on.
Yeah.
You've relied on him in this match. In other matches, it's you're going nowhere, and then all of a sudden Latrell goes, "No, I think I'll play for 15 minutes," and you score 4 tries, and you're away.
Yeah.
That's a risky.
Oh, hang on.
I think you're a little bit incohesive.
Every team has that. I mean, you've got that with Turbo.
Hang on.
If Turbo doesn't play well, you lose.
Excuse me, our teams are not going that well.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah, but they're 1 point ahead of us, you knucklehead.
That's because you talk about Turbo and you talk about Tedesco, but outside of that, so every team...
We got Sherry.
But I think Totola and Hame Saleh are being very consistent up front.
They are.
And you haven't had Tom for a couple of weeks too, and so they've been pretty good. And then, it's a bit of a blow losing Arrow and
Murray. Well, the only advantage to South losing those players is that next week we've got St George, with all due respect to St George.
No respect to St George.
And then we've got a bye after that.
Yeah, okay.
So that's 2 weeks.
Yeah,
now
you won't have Arrow for a couple of months.
Yep. Well, Murray, apparently.
Murray, he
4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Murray, I'm hearing 4 weeks, and Arrow's 6 to 8 weeks.
Groins are they're hard to heal, I think. You don't mess with them.
Yeah, so there was a lot of injuries that came out of this game that will have implications not only on South but certainly on State of Origin.
Yep. So you're in third still, so you're maintaining your position pretty well.
Yeah. And by the way, I mean South and the Broncos haven't had any buys yet, whereas most teams, in fact, three I think in the top 5 or 6 have had 2 buys already.
Yeah.
So. All right, let's move on to the Broncos and the Sharks. And I got to say, I'm surprised that they were able to win 20-12.
Biggest disappointment of the weekend.
Oh, that was the biggest disappointment for you of the weekend.
Yep.
Okay.
This weekend, not last week. This weekend. I expected that the Sharkies would take this game.
Yeah.
And this is pre Nathan Cleary playing. I thought Nico Hines would grab this and say, this is why I'm in that State of Origin team.
Yep.
But he had a good game.
Yeah, he had a good game. He didn't have
he
a
was
great game.
He was everywhere.
I think, Brian, you're saying he should have taken it by the scruff.
He should have done. He should have done what Cody Walker did, because you know now what all the South supporters are saying.
We don't want to hear about that now.
No. They're going Cody. When really it's Nico Hines is the obvious choice.
I'm not saying. I don't want you to take Cody.
All right.
Yeah. Look, I think the Broncos really stepped up. I think this was another one of those games where are you going to be also Rans at the end of the season, in the top 8, or are you going to stamp your authority and show some resilience? And I thought they were excellent. Tony Staggs had a absolute blinder. Man was still good. I love Herbie Farnworth. He's one of my favourites in that team.
Yeah, he's good.
Even Haas and Flegler, they were both good. Carrigan's, it gives you the same every week.
Yeah.
They just don't have many weaknesses in their team at the moment.
Yeah.
That good young halfback.
What's his name again?
I can't remember.
Can't remember.
Well, his name could be, much better known soon.
Oh, could be.
But anyway, look, I thought the Broncos may be. I've said already that I don't think the Broncos can win the premiership. I'm starting to turn a little bit now.
I'm actually. You know what? I agree with you. I agree with you. Early in the year, I was saying yes, the Broncos are doing well, but you know what? They're beating the lower teams.
Yeah.
When they come up against the big name teams, but you know what? They're doing it.
Yeah.
And if they're not winning against those teams, they're very competitive.
Yeah. No, look, I think they may be changing my mind.
Brian, you disagree, obviously.
No, I hate Queensland.
Okay, but take that aside.
Can't take it out of me.
Rabbitohs, Panthers, or Broncos to win the premiership? Who would you
Panthers.
No way. I don't want them to three-peat.
Oh.
What do you want to do with a three-peat?
Seriously.
Anything above the Queensland team or the perennial victims. Seriously, what do you want? Victims, Queensland or Penrith? You have to go Penrith.
So
it could be their 10th in a row. I'd still have to go Penrith.
So your hatred for Penrith being a Manly supporter is not like my hatred for the Roosters being a South supporter.
No.
You like Penrith. As a Manly supporter,
can I just
are
say,
you saying you like Penrith?
No. That's
yes,
the same. That's the same as you saying to me, "Hey Brian, how do you feel about Parramatta?" Oh God.
Yeah, that's probably right. It's actually probably right.
Oh, there's rivalries and there's rivalries.
You hate the Roosters.
Yeah. And let's be clear.
He's flash. All right.
And let's be clear. I do. Yeah, I was disappointed in the
Oh, I thought it was
Sharks.
good. Glimpses of good, but overall pretty average.
Yeah. Let's go on to Industry Group Stadium. Will you Roosters stop playing at Central Coast? You've never played well at Central Coast.
They're always terrible.
Sydney Roosters 25, Dogs 24.
And at one point, when the Dogs are up
12-0 or something.
12-0, Steve's going, why do they play there? I'm going, move them there permanently, get rid of Sydney and give them the spoon. Like, it makes perfect sense to me. And then the Dogs fell apart.
Look, I actually think, despite the score, I think that the Dogs' attack is pretty pedestrian. Unless they get it to Addo Carr, not much happens, to be honest. The Roosters could have seriously got their pants pulled down. But then Tedesco, he showed what a champion he is.
Well, let's talk about that, because he's been bagged because of the state of origin.
And you wanted to get rid of him from the New South Wales after one bad game.
Still
Seriously.
do.
I wouldn't now that Cleary's gone.
No.
But anyway, so you think he's safe?
Absolutely, he's safe. He would have been safe even if you hadn't.
You know what concerns me? What concerns me is all the Queenslanders coming out saying, we wouldn't bag our players after one game." Pull your heads
How
in.
do they go?
No, you can watch it back later. Far out. Oh, I'm still burning up about State of Origin, obviously.
So it was frustrating to keep letting the Dogs back into the game. That's certainly. But I thought we were better. We weren't that much better, but we were better. I thought we played better for longer periods. I think Jared had an absolute fantastic game. Collins was good. Luke Cleary challenged the line, which is what we needed him to do, and Tedesco was great in support.
But they only beat the Dogs by 1 point.
Oh, absolutely. I'm not saying that it was a brilliant performance, but we needed to win, and we won, which was great. What concerned me again was Sawali had a pretty decent game, running the ball up, but then apparently he's had this concerning notice about lifting his knees on more than one occasion. Because when I first saw it, I thought, surely that's not worth 3 weeks. But then they'd actually given him 2 concerning notices, one in the World Cup. So look, I don't think they're going to be bothering fighting it because it's frustrating now because we're going to lose him for 3 weeks.
He won you the game because he took Mahoney out, and if Mahoney had been playing, you wouldn't have won.
Well, I did think at the time that it was good that he wasn't there. But it's frustrating. Every couple of weeks we seem to lose somebody for a couple of weeks, or with injury or suspension, and we just can't put the same team on the paddock. Sandon Smith debut, he was terrific out of dummy half. Well, he's a half, but he was terrific at dummy half. And Junior Pauga, he also had a very good game. It's only his 5th game in first grade. He's 27.
Right.
Okay. So that was good.
And let me just speak on the Dogs' behalf. All right. when you've got 30 seconds to go,
Yeah, you don't give it to Addo.
and you're taking a quick tap from the 20, and you're kicking for a speedster. The speedster doesn't kick the ball. That's all I've got to say.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it when I saw.
I did not have
kicked the ball.
I'm going.
Thinking, you are joking.
Like, surely, I thought he's going to make 10 metres. He's going to flick it to Burton.
And then he's going to go out wide.
Burton's going to boot the living daylights out of it, and our car's going to fly down the. Hang on, he kicked it.
Because they got us every time. Every time they kicked for Addo, he beat us. You know?
That was absolutely
Gobsmacked. Yeah.
lack of experience from the young Fox, obviously.
Anyway, I was pleased with the fact that we held them out for the last 15 minutes after we kicked the field goal.
Even though they had nothing.
Queensland Country Bank Stadium, gentlemen. North Queensland 45.
Yes.
Melbourne 20. Honestly, this could have been 50.
I wish it was 50.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah, I think everybody was hoping it was going to be 50.
He
Except for
doesn't,
Sully,
Sully. He doesn't
I
mean that
do.
at all.
Yeah.
I do, because if I was ranking the teams that I don't like, Storm would be right there at the pointy end.
There's about 15 teams.
Next to anything from
16
Queensland.
teams you don't like, so yeah. Anyway.
What do you say?
45 points. This is the team coming second last.
I don't understand.
Yeah.
They got lapped by what was the score against the Dogs? 68.
Tigers.
Yeah,
66 to 18.
Tigers.
60.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How the heck do they come out and beat the Storm by 25
Well,
points?
So they said they like to play daytime football.
Yeah,
Because it's dry.
As the commentator said, what do you think would happen right now if the Tigers were playing the Storm?
Oh my goodness. Well, nothing, because the Tigers will wait for the last 5 minutes and not win it.
Yes,
you got.
yes.
There's. I don't know.
And
I
Semi
don't know.
Valame's first game for the Cowboys and scores a hat trick. What was the reason they dropped Kyle Feldt? Did we know?
Yeah, he was dropped because he was dropping a few balls the previous week.
Wow.
Okay.
I got nothing on this game. You don't expect the Storm to come out and lose like that.
Yep.
And yeah, man, they've been a bit shaky, but they haven't been lose to the Cowboys shaky.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's like
I don't know.
That's like a 60-point turnaround on their recent form.
I don't know.
You know.
I just don't know.
Yeah.
All right, Bluebet Stadium, where the Panthers beat St George Dragons 26-18.
A very
and
willing St George. outfit.
Dragons were dudded.
Yeah.
Oh.
Dudded.
Okay. I didn't see that.
Which call do you reckon dudded them?
Well, could it be the one where the ref deemed a knockback and they were racing down the sideline only for the sideline?
That one in particular.
He was away. He was gone. He would have scored.
Look, I'll say
This is
this.
Sloan, by the way.
Where about
Yeah.
this in the game is this?
Probably 20 minutes to go.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll say this though. When it happened, the ref said play on, Sloan actually had the ball and he stopped and he looked at the ref.
Yes.
Like it was
He's
like
giving himself up.
like, are you serious?
No.
And then when he stopped, everyone else stopped. So I agree they should have played the whistle, but the man with the best view changed his mind.
Yes.
I don't think he can do that.
You know what? He should have just let it play out, score the try, and then go back and look at it anyway.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, you got to play the whistle, and we all know that. But, geez, everybody stopped. Everybody stopped. So
Well, if it was either this one or another time where the ref made a really bad call, that Panthers scored straight after, and I think it was this one.
look, I don't know. I really don't know.
Honestly,
it's hard work, man.
Look, Penrith weren't playing well, and
No.
St George were probably never going to win. But they were dudded. They absolutely dudded. St George should have won this game,
But they didn't.
but they didn't.
And it wasn't the lack of Nathan Cleary either, because I think they've been scrappy, but their scrappy is most people's best.
Yeah. That's right.
And you gotta admit, you gotta shout out Brian Toho. My goodness,
Yeah, he's good.
man, he backed up for another 200 meters.
Yeah. And Jack Cogger had a pretty decent game. That kick for right on half time was just fantastic.
Yeah, and
you'd have expected. You look back and go, that's Cleary brilliance.
And that's the one thing that Panthers can do. Again, they play a full 80 minutes.
Yeah.
They can beat you at any point of the game.
Yep.
So let's let's do the ladder,
And the
then
buys were?
Oh, you want to do the buys?
The buys were the Sea Eagles, the Knights, and the Eels, and the Eels have had an interesting week.
Yeah, we won't go into that.
Okay.
That's an interesting segue talking about Cleary and to go into State of Origin, but do the ladder first.
Right, I'll do that. On top, the Panthers, and then the Broncos in second, the Rabbitohs in third, the Sharks make up the four. Despite their loss, the Storm are in fifth, the Raiders sixth, the Warriors seventh, and the Dolphins eighth. Just out of the eight is the Mighty Roosters, followed by the Sea Eagles, 1 point behind. The Knights, the Eels, the Titans, the Cowboys, the Bulldogs, the West Tigers, and the Dragons are unfortunately in last place.
That's it.
Okay, so let's talk about State of Origin for a minute. Obviously,
Yep.
we're not going to talk about what's past, that's done. Let's talk about future State of Origin. Game 2 in Queensland in front of 50,000 parochial Queenslanders, and we have serious injuries.
It was going to be hard enough with that same team backing up in Queensland, and now they, by necessity, have to reshuffle the team.
Yeah. So no Cleary.
Yep.
So no Cleary could obviously mean no Luai, because playing combinations, all that sort of stuff.
No.
But anyway,
Well,
I'm Cameron Murray.
Yep. I'm on board. It's controversial, but it's been put out there already. I'm on board for Reynolds and Walker now. I seriously am.
Cody Walker.
Yep,
Just
absolutely.
want to get that clear for the on record.
And have Nico Hines coming off the bench again, but involving him a lot more than he was in the first game. That's my feeling.
Brian?
No idea. These guys got no idea.
Well,
tell
then
us what
give
you
us a
think.
better one.
Right. So Latrell comes back in for Tom, who won't play for a head knock. That's your three
All
quarter.
right, well, there's your centre.
That's your 3/4 line
Okay.
change. Now that Cleary's out, Hines comes straight into the team. Matt Burton goes to the bench. It's done. And unfortunately, I don't think that means. I don't think that means you get rid of Pengai Jr., who was pretty average, I thought, against the Roosters. Yeah. I don't think they're going to make mass changes, and I think the only changes they're going to make now, thanks to these injuries, are forced changes. That's it.
Okay, so you've got Hines coming in for Cleary. You've
Yep.
got Luai staying as 5'8".
Yep.
You've got Turbo out and Latrell coming in his spot. You've got Tedesco staying.
Yep.
So you're saying Turbo is not likely to be picked, or not likely to be available?
I don't know. See, here's the problem. So Manly trying to get an exemption on the head knock because they said it was his jaw, not a head knock. He passed his HIA.
His jaw's not in his head.
Well, he passed his HIA as soon as he came off the field, grabbed at his jaw, said it was his jaw. Then the NRL independent doctors ruled it a Category 2, which means see you next week. Look, I don't know, and I don't think you play him straight after a head knock if he hasn't played a game beforehand. So it's that simple.
Who comes in to replace Murray?
Well, like I said, I think the two big angry back rowers should come into the team anyway. In
Keon or Hamali.
Yeah, Keon and Hamali. They're the two that I think they should have been there from the start and bring it.
If they could only pick one.
Geez, a bit hard. Probably Keon. He's probably a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
And that's the only reason.
See, I think Hamali, you don't pick him because he hasn't learned how to run hard. The guy's as big as a house, but seriously, he runs soft.
He's taken his foot off the pedal a little bit lately.
Hamali's got to offload. Keon doesn't.
Yeah.
Keon is
that's
much bigger and much more aggressive in his running.
Yes.
And
that's the only reason I wouldn't pick him. I just think he runs like a snowflake.
Look, if we didn't have any injuries,
that was veiled.
It wasn't even veiled. Look, I said if we didn't have any injuries, I would say bring them both in. But
look, I'd be happy with that. Look, I'd even think of Totola, to be honest with you. I think he's been playing.
And I don't know what you do with Pengai Jr. Then, like, I don't rate him. He had a shocker against the Roosters. I don't think he can be there.
I actually think he should stay.
Yeah, of course you do.
All right, let's go on to.
It's hard working with these people. I tell you.
I don't know why I do this show half the time.
It wouldn't happen if you.
If it wasn't for babysitting you two, just seriously, your wives ring up and say, "Listen, will you get them out of the house?" And so they're here. I have to put up with them every week. Round 15, gentlemen, and the only team to have a bye this one is North Queensland, and by Sunday night we'll have picked probably on Monday. Yeah, Monday night they will have picked State of Origin.
We're not going to mention any Queensland's injuries at the moment.
Do we care?
Well, I think we kind of do because the forward pack dominated us, and they've lost 2 of them.
Yes,
Arrow and
Gilbert.
Gilbert, yes.
And
there'll be big losses for Queensland.
I think they're huge losses.
I'll be back.
Yeah, good under the high ball.
Yeah, he scored a couple of tries.
Yeah,
last
anyway.
season.
All right. Anyway, let's talk about next week.
Seabus Super Stadium.
Yeah,
Gold Coast Titans, West Tigers.
You have to rate the Tigers a chance.
Tigers. I reckon Tigers by plenty.
I reckon Tigers could win this one.
Because the Tigers are probably the one team in the comp that if you're up by 20 points, you go, yeah, they're still in it. And the Titans could be leading by 20 points, and you're going, I don't think they're going to win.
Yeah, well, this is set up, isn't it? The Titans score early, and the Tigers come back.
Yeah, Tigers.
Tigers for me.
Look, I'm going to go Titans only because they're home.
No experience, no Kieran Foran. I'm not picking until Kieran Foran's back.
He's not going to be back this week?
No, I reckon he's going to take a couple of weeks out.
Tigers. Raiders and Warriors
Good
at
game.
Geo Stadium.
Good
This should
game.
be
Raiders.
Raiders because it's Joe Crocker's 300. They'll be
yeah.
That'll be up for him.
Yeah, I got Raiders as well.
Yeah.
4 Pines Park, Sea Eagles and Dolphins.
We got this. We got this.
No Tom, no hope.
No, we got this. Have you seen the Dolphins suspensions and injuries? There's no Marshall King. There's no Milford. There's no Tom Gilbert.
Is Milford
suspended?
No surprise there.
They've got 5 or 6 players out, and we knew their depth was going to be a problem. Here's what I'll say. If we do not win this game, because unlike Roosters fans who go, oh, woe is us, we have to start winning or we'll never make the 8. I'm never giving up hope, but if we don't beat the Dolphins at Brookvale this week, we can't make the 8.
Well,
I don't think you can make the 8 anyway, whether you
sure,
win or lose.
Of course you don't, but you're not a Manly fan. Go the Eagles.
Yeah, I don't know. Saturday afternoon.
Hang on. No, make your decision. Stick it on the
Eagles.
line. Come on, Steve.
Eagles.
Home team.
Even with the 6 players out, it hurt him to say not the Queensland team.
Next round at Jubilee Stadium, St George Illawarra against South Sydney Rabbitohs.
Yeah,
I'm
Rabbitohs.
going to look see what the team sheet looks like first.
Really?
I don't think.
Well, you could be missing everybody.
Well, no. We could still beat them.
Yeah.
With everybody
Trust
else.
me.
They nearly beat the Panthers.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no.
Nah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was after Cleary going down after 5 minutes.
I'm reserving
Give it a break.
judgment.
Yeah.
Hi, Jess. Sorry I'm in your spot.
All right, so we've just had a visitor walk in the door, so...
We're going to cut all that
yes,
out, aren't we?
No, we're not.
No! Jess!
And your dog's barking. Okay, where are we? Suncorp Stadium, Brisbane Broncos and Newcastle Knights.
Oh, this dirty, dirty taste in my mouth. The Broncos.
Broncos.
Moving on. What?
Well, because you... Okay.
Dead air time's not good.
He's just staring at me going, what do you want to say?
Well, because I'm waiting for you to give some intelligent comment about why.
Give you some intelligent comment about why. The Broncos are leading the comp and the Knights are busted. It's just before State of Origin team. All their forwards are up. They're going to smash them into smithereens. The Knights have got nothing.
Is that good enough?
Allianz Stadium, Sydney Roosters and the Penrith Panthers.
I
Panthers.
cannot believe the odds on this. That's ridiculous.
What is it?
154 to 250.
Oh, geez, they give you a hope.
I sure do that.
Yeah.
Well,
and really they don't.
All I
No,
really
really.
I want us to be competitive, unlike the last time we played.
Oh, I hope you get 50 put on you.
Oh, yeah, I know, but that's because you're just such a woefully awful man.
I'm a lovely guy.
I agree with you, Brian.
Yeah, well,
That's
I'm
because
lovely.
you hate the
I'm lovely, or you want 50 put on them?
No, I want 50 put on them as well, but I actually think they have a chance.
Well, that's one out of the three of us.
Well,
Not even Tom believes it.
Against the odds, I'll be tipping the Roosters, but I don't expect to win.
I actually
I
think they
expect
have a
us to be
chance.
competitive.
I think with no Cleary,
Yep.
all of a sudden, it brings the Panthers back to the field.
Let's see.
Disagree.
And you know what? Turbo's playing Teddy's playing so well at the moment. I mean, he's absolutely on fire.
So, if we can just continue to improve by increments, as long as they're competitive, that's all I want. I was disappointed the last time we played them. It was awful.
It's got to be 80% more competitive to go against them, but that's
Maybe.
okay.
All
I'll
right.
take 40.
Amy Park, Melbourne Storm and Cronulla Sharks. I would every day I would pick Melbourne at home, but I'm struggling. Absolutely struggling to know what
Melbourne
to
will
do.
bounce back. They'll have got an absolute roasting from Bellamy.
Yeah, I'm actually inclined to agree. I want to pick the Sharks, but I think that they are going to come out fired up.
Yeah.
I really do.
They
But
rarely
you got-
lose 2 games in
Yeah,
a row.
but you've got to remember, this is not the... I mean, this is the first time I've seen them beaten by 45.
Yeah.
But this is not the first time this year that they've had a bad game.
Yep.
Previous years, they'd have a shocker and he'd roast them and they'd be good for the rest of the year or good for a while. This is only week 15 or 14 or whatever it is. And honestly, I reckon they've had 4 bad games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think the Bellamy factor is wearing off.
Well, the Sharks are in the same boat.
Yeah.
They'll
Yeah, the Sharks haven't been playing great either.
No.
And Nico will be wanting to, state his case again.
Yeah, just make sure that he's in the frame for halfback, yes.
All right, and Accor Stadium on Monday, being the public holiday, Bulldogs and the Eels.
Go the doggies. Go the doggies.
Eels will be wanting to bounce back. They won't have Dylan Brown.
No.
They'll be hurting.
And
the
now
dogs
they
will
don't
get 'em.
have Jacob Arth either.
No, that's right. That was bad timing, wasn't it?
The dogs will come and get them.
Just don't kick to Adokar.
Yeah.
The
So it's like, just don't let Adokar kick.
The dogs will come and get them.
The
The
dogs
dogs
will
struggled
come.
against the Roosters.
The dogs will come and get them.
The Eels, for me.
Eels for me as well.
See, these guys don't know what they're doing.
Brian, is there anything intelligent you want to end the show with? And I'm stressing the
Which
intelligent
means,
this week.
he said, up until this point, there has been zilch.
Zilch.
He says that every week, though, but I know he's...
Yeah, but you know what?
It's just a friendly jest. I know.
No.
I know.
This time I'm stressing the point.
To finish, I would like to say... I would just like to reiterate, my team will beat the Dolphins. Otherwise, I don't think that they can win the comp.
You can't win the comp anyway.
Oh, we can win the comp.
Oh, you just said if they to make the top
make
8.
the
Now you're
eight.
talking about winning the competition.
Well, if they're in the 8, they can win the comp.
Making the 8 is a big win for you.
Oh, please.
Making the 8 is an
Oh, that's it.
absolute
I
miracle.
take it all back. We're going to finish ahead of them. Maybe not ahead of them.
Yeah, we should have had our bet again.
I'm not that stupid.
Tom?
Win's a win, and I hope we're competitive this week.
All right. Thank you for watching. You're with Tom, Brian and Stephen. This is From the Sidelines. You can view this show on Facebook, YouTube, or download it on podcast. Thank you.
Podcast.
Podcast?
No, podcast. Damn.
That is
He's English, unbelievable.
that is the
Podcast.
Spotify on podcast. Download the podcast on Spotify. Thank you for watching. See you all later. Bye-bye.
See ya.
I'm going home, getting away from you maniacs.